Hi everyone, my name is Tanisha Doshi, and today I'm going to talk about something many of us have tried before. Well, or at least seen at the grocery store kombucha. You might know it as a fizzy sour tea drink that people say is good for you. But why do people think that? And does science actually support the idea that kombucha can affect our metabolism or fat levels? A recent research study done by the Rob Dowen Lab at UNC Chapel Hill looked closely at what happens during kombucha fermentation and how its microbial products might influence fat storage. I'm going to walk you through the key ideas of this study in a simple way and show you if and how kombucha actually does do the things it claims to do. So, what is kombucha? Kombucha is made by fermenting sweet tea with a mix of bacteria and yeast called a SCOBY. As these microbes feed on the sugar, they produce new chemicals like acids and small molecules that can interact with our bodies when we drink it. The researchers wanted to know, do these chemical products made during kombucha fermentation change the way body handles fat? Fat metabolism includes two simple ideas. The first is fat storage, which is basically our cells holding on to fat. And the second is fat breakdown, which is our cells using stored fat for energy. If kombucha changes the balance, it could influence weight management. The research question or topic of interest for today is if kombucha fermentation products actually do change fat metabolism in living organisms. Instead of studying humans directly, the researchers used lab fermentation experiments to see which chemicals the microbial communities produced, and they used C. elegans to do so. C. elegans is a model organism, like a tiny worm species, to test how these fermentation products affected fat storage. These worms are commonly used to study metabolism because their pathways are surprisingly similar to ours. As the kombucha fermented, the researchers saw big changes in short chain fatty acids, also called as SCFAs, which are small molecules known to affect metabolism. The microbial species and enzymes related to breaking down sugars and fats also changed. These changes increased over the first couple weeks as the microbes became more active, and peak activity was observed around day 14. So, what do these chemicals or enzymes in the kombucha do? They send signals to cells to increase the fat breakdown in our body and reduce fat storage, also while boosting the metabolic rate. When the worms were exposed to kombucha fermentation products, they stored less fat. The study found that the kombucha products triggered the worms to break down more fat, increase their overall metabolism, and reduced fat accumulation in their cells. This supports the idea that fermented compounds in kombucha can influence fat regulation. The takeaways we get from this study is that the microbial products in kombucha, especially the ones made later in fermentation, may help the body shift from storing fat to using it for energy. This does not mean kombucha is a magic weight loss drink, but the study provides real biological evidence that its fermentation products can influence metabolic pathways. To wrap it up, kombucha fermentation produces chemicals that actively change over time. These chemicals can affect fat metabolism in living organisms, And the study suggests that kombucha might support increased metabolism and reduce fat storage, at least in the model systems it tested. Thank you so much for listening and giving your time to look at this presentation. If you are interested in learning more about it, you should definitely check out the paper that I'm going to list down below.